You know when your company sends you across the world for a high-powered business meeting, first class all the way, and you just want to play some games on the plane. Wait, what was that, Donnie? What did you say? They don't need to know I flew coach, economy coach at that. This is 2019. Fake it until you make it. That's the way the internet works now. Instagram. Come on, get with the program. All right. Sorry about that. Where was I? First class, high-powered business meeting. Wi-Fi just doesn't work reliably. So I still want to play my games, so it comes down to offline games. But what are some good offline games? The Android market is filled with tons of games. I found two that I really enjoy, and we're going to go over them in this video and why you should be enjoying them too when you're sent across the world to be a high-powered business meeting. First up is Eternium. So Eternium is probably the gold standard in action RPGs on the mobile. Their big claim to fame is that they are made by, players who love the genre and not a business. And it kind of shows. It's an offline game, so you don't need that internet connection. You can play it from first class or those poor people in coach that I would know nothing about because, I'm very important and they would never fly me coach where it's all cramped and for long flights it's rough. It's rough, but I wouldn't know anything about that. Anyway, as you can see, the controls are pretty easy. It uses this kind of swipe motion to do the special abilities, which actually works pretty well. Instead of having to, have a bunch of buttons, you just do these swipes instead. And that really lends itself to the mobile platform. I really haven't seen that much anywhere else. I'm surprised. I think it works pretty well. The game is exactly like you'd expect from an ARPG. You get a ton of loot. You have several classes, class abilities, customization choices. You get allied characters or pets like Marcus here, who's my tank. And there's just a whole bunch of levels, trials, just a lot of things to do. And you can even command your allies. Like Marcus here, I sent him in for a charge. Since I'm a remote DPS, I'm the bounty hunter character, which means I got 2 pistols. And I'm just DPS from afar. And the nice thing I like most about this class is the explosive shot. It's pretty satisfying. So there's a chance it'll do AoE damage and just start blowing things up, and that's just fun. There's just a whole bunch of levels, all sorts of gear you can get. Gear customization, there's sets, there's jewelry, there's just, all the staples that you would remember. There's more advanced game modes as well. So playing this on the road, on the plane, internationally, it worked pretty well because they don't need data. And data plans overseas, I found, can be a bit iffy, especially on roaming. Paying the extra charge isn't that bad, but you never know what kind of roaming networks you're going to be on. And it's kind of neat there. My bullets are ricocheting because of the angles. And the loot just kind of, they do have that loot explosion feeling, which is always appreciated. That, it just, gold just explodes everywhere when you beat a boss. We'll be coming up on a boss in a second, so it's an interesting fight, and I like the commentary. Right now my guy's talking about how he wants the bridge to be. It's a good bridge. Be a good bridge. Doesn't want to fall Indiana Jones style. Can't blame him. So here's the gear screen. As you can see, very Diablo kind of like. You got all sorts of rarities, bunch of slots. So you can really customize the character the way you want to. Okay, here's a boss fight. So there are elites and there are bosses. I think this is mostly a large amount of elites instead of a boss. As you can see, my tank is tanking as he should be. There's something summoning skeletons, and the game does give you tips. So it's pretty cool in that way. Like, it tells me to kill the summoner. Now, I don't need the game's advice on how to play the game. So I'm just taking everything else out first. But then I get back to the summoner and make short work of him. Now, once we down the boss, that's kind of the end of the level. There's a portal to go back, but we, of course, got to get the end chest. And look at all that loot. That is pretty satisfying, I got to admit. So that's Eternium. It's a very cool game. I'll link it below. Go check it out if you have to travel and play offline. The second game is Crashlands. So Crashlands is a sandbox kind of game, but it's not as loose as like Minecraft. So it's more like Terraria. Is that even the right name? Terrarium? No, that's something else. You know the game I'm talking about. But you're basically crash land on this world, and you need to get off. And it's a common kind of trope, but it's a very lighthearted world, which is nice. It's funny. The guys who made it are, I think, in St. Louis. It has a great sense of humor, a fun style, and it's very easy to play. So one thing that can get to me about sandboxes is the mundaneness of having to do little things like food, drink, organizing your inventory, all sorts of stuff like that, and just traveling around. So Crashlands has kind of addressed all this. The inventory you don't have to worry about. It's pretty much infinite. It organizes itself. There's no food or drink to worry about. Traveling, you can unlock fast travel points, and there's a direction to this sandbox. That's not to say you can't do your own thing, but there are quests, there are all sorts of things you can do that kind of drive you towards a goal if that's what you need. And honestly, that's why I need a lot of times. I play a sandbox and there's so much to do that I don't do anything of note. So here I'm getting some quests from these guys. The combat is all right. I mean, it is more complex than I at first thought. You can craft a bunch of different things to throw and fight with. You can craft housing. I mean, this view doesn't change, but you can craft housing, and then also you can do furniture, lighting. There's a giant world to explore if you saw the map before. It is pretty easy to play when you get spare time on the road or in a plane. There's really no monetary. I don't think there's any in-app purchases that I've seen. I don't remember any. So this is like a true offline game. I think it's a few bucks, but you know, it's definitely been worth it. It is a quality game with a lot of content in it. And if you love to gather things, I mean, this is a great game for you because, like I said, the inventory management is not really a big deal at all. And you can just kind of collect as you wish. You also get to raise animals, so you can see me. I have this little whomper thing jumping around. I got that from an egg, and hatched the egg and named it. I don't know if there's much more customization other than that, but he just fights with me, which is pretty cool. There's a lot of different enemies. They have different skills, so, you know, stay out of the red. Kind of normal thing here. And it's not... They do range attacks, so... You know, I've died a few times in this game, so it's not necessarily easy. At least at first, until you get the hang of what you need to be doing and how you need to be doing it. Yeah, craft your armor. And, you know, all the normal things you expect from a sandbox. This is just one of the better ones I found on Android. I guess it could be a survival sandbox, but like I said, there's no food or water issues to micromanage. Since there's no in-app purchases, the it doesn't make survival dependent on spending money, which is what annoys me the most about some survival games that are free to play, is that they make just the matter of like surviving a game, something they can monetize by making it a pain in the butt. And nobody likes that. Well, I guess they do, because I mean these games are successful. So here's the result. Here's a quest where I have to clear out this house, and these guys jump on you, and they can do a lot of damage. So I'm trying to stay out when they jump, playing it safe so I don't die for the video. That would be quite embarrassing. And so, yep, I'm finishing up this quest. Once I take out this guy, we'll do the quest, then we'll head back to the base to do a little crafting. So they reward you schematics to do crafting, and you can get those through drops, you can get them through quests. And here's the map isn't the greatest, but it's effective. So I'm going to turn in the quest here, and he's going to reward me a pickaxe. So when I was wandering around, there are a bunch of things I couldn't harvest yet because I did not have a pickaxe. So that doing the quest opens up more things I can gather. So for the hoarder, this is your game. It's still being updated too. So this is not a game that's been left behind. It is currently being updated. I don't really play many games that have not been updated in a month or two, just because I mean that's kind of the big thing about mobile and 2019 is games getting updated. This used to not be the case. Back when I was a kid, you bought a game and that was it. It was on a cartridge. There was no updating it. You played the game and then moved on. These days, games are much more alive, and I like that. I like that a lot, as long as it's done in a good financial model. But so here we go. I'm looking through some of the crafting benches to try to find the pickaxe. There's a glorch light. There it is. There's the pickaxe. But I need some more stuff to it. You can. One thing is nice is when you need something, you can put it up to the top right and track the items that you need to get for it. And here's a farm I planted, so you can get seeds and plant things. I need to expand that farm a bit. All right, so I got the last stick I need. I got some more dirt. And then I can kind of make something out of that dirt for more farmland. Now let's make that pickaxe. Hooray! I got a pickaxe. And it's nice that all the tools, they just automatically work. There's no having to equip them. None of that nonsense. So the developers really did, I think, do a good job of making the game easy to play. So here I'm planting some more seeds. And then I'm going to go ahead and make a torch after I do some random harvesting for some reason. You see those nodes, you just can't resist. I can't be alone in thinking that. Got to get all the nodes. And picking up some health flowers there. More nodes to get. I don't even need this stuff, but you never know, right? All right, I healed up a bit. Now we're going to make that torch. I didn't get a night screen to show it. But you can make this thing, and it'll light up the area at night, so it's pretty cool. Anyway, I hope you found these videos useful. I will include the link for this one as well in the description. Check out some more content to the upper left and upper right. Thanks for watching. I appreciate all the support. Have a great day.